and up until a month ago, I was living what felt like a dream. My wife, Camilla, and I had just moved into our new home in Los Angeles with our 4 beautiful children, Isabella, Michelle, and our twin boys, Jonah and James. Our home wasn't just a house. It was the culmination of years of hard work and sacrifice. On December 20th, 2024, we made the final payment. That Christmas was like something out of a storybook. We decorated the tree together, laughed over spilled hot cocoa, and exchanged gifts by the fire. But what I'll never forget is the music. Music was the heart of our family. Every night, I'd sit at the piano in our living room, playing and singing for my kids. Sometimes Camilla would join me, her soft voice harmonizing with mine as the children danced around us. I taught each of them to play the piano, starting with simple melodies that grew more complex as their tiny fingers gained confidence. Our house was always filled with music, laughter, and love. But life has a cruel way of silencing even the most beautiful melodies. In January, the wildfires came. At first, it was just an orange glow in the distance, a reminder of how volatile the dry season could be. But within hours, the fire was upon us. It was late at night when I woke to the acrid smell of smoke. The sky outside was a hellish red, and ash was already falling like snow. I rushed to wake Camilla and the kids, shouting for them to pack a bag and get ready to leave. But before we could, I heard screaming from next door. Mrs. Henderson, our elderly neighbor, was trapped on her porch, her home already engulfed in flames. I couldn't ignore her. I promised Camilla I'd be right back to help and ran. The heat was unbearable, but I managed to carry Mrs. Henderson to safety, coughing and gasping for air. When I turned back to my house, my heart stopped. Flames had consumed it entirely, climbing the walls and licking at the roof. My family was trapped on the balcony. "Kennedy, Daddy, help us." Their voices cut through the roar of the fire. I could see Camilla holding the twins, shielding them as best she could. Isabella and Michelle clung to her, their faces streaked with tears and terror. I ran toward them, screaming their names, but the fire was too fierce. The front door was a wall of flames. I begged them to jump, but they were too afraid. I grabbed a garden hose, trying desperately to douse the fire, but it was like trying to stop a flood with a bucket. Then the unthinkable happened. The balcony collapsed. I watched in horror as they fell, their screams swallowed by the roar of the fire. I ran to them, pulling their bodies from the rubble, but it was too late. Jonah and James, my sweet boys who had just begun to find their voices on the piano, were gone. Camilla, my partner, my love, my duet partner in life and music, lay still in my arms. Isabella had been thrown farther away. Her body was cold by the time I reached her. Michelle was alive but horribly burned. Her cries of pain brought me back to reality. I scooped her up and ran, the flames chasing us as I fled to safety. Now, she lies in a hospital bed, her little body covered in bandages, fighting for her life. Every day, I sit by her bedside, holding her tiny hand in mine, praying for a miracle. I hum the songs we used to play together, hoping she can hear me, hoping it brings her some comfort. But the silence is deafening. I've lost everything. My wife, my sons, my daughter, my home, and the music that filled it all. The piano that once brought us together is nothing but ashes now, along with the dreams I had for our family. But I'm here tonight because I believe their story deserves to be heard. I want the world to know the love we shared, the music we created, and the lives that were lost. And I want Michelle to know that as long as she's fighting, I'll keep fighting too. When I sing tonight, I'm singing for my family. For Camilla, who harmonized with me in love and in life. For Jonah and James, who never got to grow into their gifts. For Isabella, whose melodies the world will never hear. And for Michelle, my little girl, who is holding on with all her might. I hope that when you hear my voice, you'll hear more than just a song. You'll hear a love story, a family story, and a father's desperate hope that their memory will never be forgotten. And also tonight, I want to share this song with you all. A song that had kept me sane in these trying times. It is the only encouragement I have right now, and I trust and believe God that all that has been lost shall be restored back to me. Just like Job in the Holy Scriptures, who lost everything dear to him, but his faith in God was unwavering. I shall also stand strong in God with my faith, even in this situation. I trust God to heal my only surviving daughter, so that we can rebuild and recover together. I also want to use this opportunity to encourage anyone who has experienced such heavy losses that they felt like God has abandoned them. God is still in the business of turning things around for good. Trust Him, and He will never disappoint. Thank you.
In Christ alone my hope is found. He is my light, my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground, firm through the fiercest drought and storm. What heights of love, what depths of peace, when fears are still, when striving cease. My comforter, my all in all, here in the love of Christ I stand. There in the ground His body lay, the light of the world by darkness slain, then bursting forth in glorious day. Up from the grave He rose again, and as He stands in victory, sin's curse has lost its grip on me. For I am His and He is mine, bought with the precious blood of Christ. No guilt in life, no fear in death. This is the power of Christ in me. From life's first cry to final breath, Jesus commands my destiny. No power of hell, no scheme of man can never pluck me from His hand, till He returns or calls me home. Here in the power of Christ I'll stand. I find my strength, I find my hope, I find my help in Christ alone. When fear assails, when darkness falls, I find my peace in Christ alone. I give my life, I give my all. I sing this song to Christ alone, the King of Kings, the Lord of all. All heaven sings to Christ alone. Oh, till He returns or calls me home. Here in the power of Christ I'll stand. Here in the power of Christ we stand.
My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need You. Lord, I come, I confess. Bowing here, I find my rest. Without You, I fall You're the one that guides my heart. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. Where sin runs deep, your grace is more. Where grace is found is where you are. And where you are, Lord, I'm free. Holiness is Christ in me. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. Where sin runs deep, your grace is more. Where grace is found is where you are. And where you are, Lord, I am free. Holiness is Christ in me. Sin runs deep, I stop to rise to you. When temptation comes my way, when I cannot stand, I'll fall on you. Jesus, you're my hope and stay. So teach my soul to rise to you. When temptation comes